together that 4th of July day. That's when the land you're standing on became the U.S. of A. United we will stand, but divided we fall. One nation under God says it all. Men are created equal, words written in by hand. They all stand to fight when a cry for freedom rings. Freedom isn't free, it comes with a cost. One nation under God says it all. One nation under God says it all. This old world's changing, it's changing every day. For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Stand up everybody, stand proud and tall. One nation under God says it all.
Good evening and welcome to IITW Radio. It is 6/18. Excuse me, 6/18 of June. Happy birthday to my ex-wife. I can't believe I'm saying that, but happy birthday, Teresa. Hello, Jolie. Hello, Jessica. As always, on Tuesday night is our political show. We got Greg Williams, always the co-host. You're stuck here now.
Hello.
You're stuck being a co-host every night, every Tuesday night now. Jolie says,
Great.
Good evening. So does Jessica and
Hey, are
everybody.
we plugged in orally? I mean, can they hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you now. All that money and you got a styrofoam cup. Oh, ACO is going to be pissed off at you, buddy. Keep polluting those landfills. So how you been?
Oh, there it is. Yep, there it is. Hey,
Don't hide it now.
hey, as long as they sell them, they're there. But in any event, one day we'll get rid of styrofoam and plastic.
Yeah, well, they're already getting rid of all the straws across the nation, so.
Hey, but I just hope they don't go back to making that Orangeburg pipe for your waste to go through. Apparently, somebody came up with the idea about 50 years ago. Let's get resin paper and make a pipe out of it and have all our sewage go through it. And let's lay that out all over the God's green earth. So anyway, it all decays, it all goes away, and then you got to replace it.
Hello, Doug.
Progress.
Yeah, well, in California now, they're going to ban vape pens now, so. You can ban vape pens, but you can't ban.
They ought to ban in California. They ought to ban illegals. Hey, why don't you start teaching these illegals how to speak English, maybe, or maybe how to be a good citizen? These people in California, you know, and a lot of your left-wing liberal, places. You know, I don't want advice from somebody that lives in a state that says you can poop and pee on the sidewalk and we don't care. If that's where you come from, I really don't care what you say about anything, really. You know, you can't even keep your sidewalks clean or have some sort of rules. I just don't think it's a healthy idea to live that way.
Yeah, Jessica said she's been MIA, and Jolie wrote in and said, yeah, so have they. Well, we have to have our lines redone. I'm not going to say who the company was, but I've had to go with hard lines now because apparently the technology of having internet lines plugged into our phone system doesn't work. If you guys will bear with us next week, we should be able to have people calling in. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So, but anyways, you know, they could sit there and ban all this other stuff. Ron DeSantis, I don't know if you saw in the news the other day where he signed in no sanctuary cities in the state of Florida.
Yay, Ron. Hey, I like where he's going. Let's get rid of the sanctuary cities and make medical marijuana available to people. So far, so good.
They should just give me marijuana just so I have an excuse for being a dumbass. You know, don't even make it medical. Just give it to me. Actually, they tried to give me medical
There's
marijuana.
petitions out right now to decriminalize it. If you do live in a free society, it is kind of stupid the way they have it. The law's set up. If they need more crime, they'll just pass a new law.
So Trump's got his
Thanks.
rally going on right now. I see people
Think
are been
something else
lined up.
illegal.
Some of them for 40-something hours, 48 hours now.
Yeah. Hey, that's good. As opposed to Biden, Biden has no line and really no enthusiasm, and that guy can't even string together a sentence. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, he had a venue set up the other day, and there was supposed to be it held 300 people. 123 showed up, so that didn't work out.
The worst part of our whole democracy right now is our mainstream media, which basically, they basically dropped the ball. I mean, they're supposed to be, fair and unbiased journalism. Is now it's all, agenda driven. You got all these hardcore leftists, which have taken over the media. The Bruce Jenner supporters, and you got all of these left-wing loonies driving the media now, lying to the people. The best thing the president has done is expose that so the rest of the country, frankly, can be aware of it. Because, frankly, the only people that care what Nancy Pelosi says is the left-wing media. We know, most of the people, that is, the Americans that actually make the country great again, that their policies are terrible and that they would destroy the country if they got back into power with their ridiculous economic policies and their ridiculous foreign policies.
Yeah, hey, I got to stop that for just a second. I got to give a shout out. Tammy's listening. Tammy's my partner over in Tampa. I don't think you ever met Tammy, have you?
Not yet.
She's the right hand of the Putman Way. And I got to tell her thanks. We just went over, I think, 7.9 million readers on the Putman Way. So kick butt job, Tammy. By the way, they found my phone. I'm going to pick it up first thing in the morning. I lost my phone at the doctor's office the other day. So I'm sure she's been trying to get a hold of me. Anybody else has been trying to get a hold of me. If you haven't been able to get a hold of me in the last 2 days, well, I haven't had my phone. But that's what you get when they're doing that girl's rubbing that hot lotion on my chest with that friggin' sonogram, checking my heart out. So,
I thought it was a massage parlor taking care of you.
No, are you kidding? I'm too old for that. The pills they got me on for my heart, man, ain't nothing happening in that area. I got a discussion with this young lady yesterday, and she was sitting there telling me all about Obama, how great Obama was, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, look at two things here. Is the economy better? And I asked her, I said, what has Obama done? Well, she couldn't tell me. And I said, let me tell you what Obama and Biden did, because she was talking about voting for Biden. And I said, the Iran deal right now, most of these younger millennials especially don't remember the Iran controversy that was going on in the late 70s and early 80s. So this is just another thing for them to live through. But then you have, I just jotted down a couple of them. You had the uranium deal, which 25% of our uranium, Obama's administration sold it. The whole insurance thing has just been a complete flop. If you like your doctors, you can keep them. That was a blatant lie. Cash for clunkers, which killed the used auto parts industry. I mean, to try to find used auto parts anymore is, forget it. You got Fast and Furious, where you have Border Patrol agents getting killed, and then drug cartel guys getting a gun. They did nothing for blacks or Hispanics in the job or housing or taxes. The China deal, they lost trillions. They did nothing for DACA.
Hey, aside from that, one of the worst things Obama did was get the internet out of America, get American out of the internet. When they did something where America used to run the internet. Okay, we had some sort of power we no longer have because Obama made sure he gave it to Google and the oligarchs. And guess what? Now everybody that's conservative is getting shut down on the internet sites because we used to have free speech because America's always been about free speech. But guess who's not about free speech? Google, Twitter. I mean, unless you're ISIS, they don't want to hear it. Hell, if you're ISIS, they'll run you all day long. But if you're a conservative and you stand up for some sort of traditional family value, they're going to say you're a threat to the public. Or the Southern Poverty Institute, those crooks, they'll try to demonize you, and the Dems will run with it. All the fake news, it's ridiculous.
Oh, Desiree says, hello, there's my guy. She's talking about you, your favorite listener. Well, you know what's pissing me off about the mainstream media? Now, even some of the local papers, which used to be the heart and backbone of this country, was local newspapers and stuff. Orlando Sentinel said today, and they just came out with it this afternoon, that they will not endorse Trump for re-election, saying after 2.5 years we've seen enough, and this is quote, enough of the chaos.
The Orlando Sentinel. Go ahead.
They've seen enough of the chaos, the division, the schoolyard insults, the self agreement, the corruption, and especially the lies.
Well, I guess they'll want Jimmy Carter. And, the lies thing is the left, they keep running with this. The president's got a great command of the English language. He speaks in metaphors. He uses analogies. I mean, there's all kinds of language art that he uses in his speeches, and they always want to take him literally and pierce the words to try to say, oh, he's lying. Well, he's trying to make a bigger point that you took out of context 9 times out of 10. And do people misspeak on occasion? Occasionally. But like, for instance, that Stephanopoulos interview, the president didn't say he wouldn't do the right thing. He said he'd probably listen to see what it was, and then if it was a problem, he'd give it to the FBI. But the media will say, oh, the president said he'd take dirt from the thing. No, the only people that took dirt was Hillary and the crooked Democrats. And remember, Schumer said, he warned Trump, he said, you mess with the intelligence, they'll take you down.
Oh, yeah.
And we know the FBI and the CIA all colluded in trying to take our president down. And it is ridiculous.
Doug Williams just wrote in, he said, Israel just named a town after Trump Heights. So in honor of Obama, let's name the prison that he's going to after him, Obama Correctional Facility. I love Doug.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
I hear the Muslim Brotherhood's alive and well over there. Obama, it was a big supporter of the Muslim Brotherhood. Half his cabinet was. Under Obama, this country was infected by the Muslim Brotherhood. They used the same tactics that China used, which is to throw a bunch of money at our university systems, try to buy them off, CARE, a big front organization for the Muslim Brotherhood. I saw where Sisi died the other day. Not Sisi, but Morsi, that crook that, that's what the left does. They'll win an election, and then they'll throw all the laws out and go totalitarian, which is what Morsi did, which is why he got ran. But you'd never know it from listening to the media. They say, oh, he was elected, and then the military overthrew him. Well, the military overthrew him because he pledged allegiance to the Muslim Brotherhood and was trying to turn Egypt into an Islamic state, which is not what the people voted for. But, again, our media lies to us so much. NBC and all that misinformation they're involved in, unbelievable.
Well, did you see what AOC said today? She's calling, she was saying the U.S. is building concentration camps on the border and then slinging mud on Trump.
Crack. She's on crack. OAC's on crack.
Well, yeah, because, and it pisses me off about the Republicans, too. They've had a chance to do, when they were in power, they had a chance to set up DACA and do everything else, just like the Democrats. I wish they would sit down because they're saying it's not a national crisis, but when you look at the disease that's coming across the thing, now Mexico has stepped up. Trump has done what he should be doing as commander in chief, but you can't. These people are busting his chops. But the thing falls back on Congress. It's up to Congress to do that.
Our Congress, this Democrat Congress, is probably the worst Congress since Reconstruction. Okay, you got to go back to Abraham Lincoln. Since Reconstruction, this is probably the worst Congress. The Senate's done a good job, trying to, keep some sanity. But the left-wing Dems that run the Democratic Party, when you got an idiot like Pelosi, and I use the phrase idiot judiciously, Okay, but when you got somebody like her running the Democratic Party, this is a lady that lives in a state that's passed laws so you can now poop and pee in public. Okay, that's what they're all about, where you can have syringes, and they've turned San Francisco almost into a third world country. They've turned parts of LA into a third world country. I mean, the left, you know what their solution is? Throw more money and big government at the problem, which is why we have these 10 cities all over California. You can have California.
Well, not you. Mexico has stepped up. They've been busting people left and right here the last few
I
days.
mean, Mexico's doing what they need to do because Trump is going to drop the dime on them. I mean, hey, you know what? And they really criticized Trump for threatening to tariff Mexico if they didn't help us out on the border.
It
You
worked.
know what? They never helped us out on the border until Trump tried to threaten them to do that. But the bigger story, the story that we're all missing, and this is some conjecture based on fact, something like that. I believe that the Mexican cartels are donating to the Democratic Party. Somehow they're in bed with the Democratic Party, the Mexican drug cartels. If somebody needs to look at that, I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't been funding, throwing money all over the Democratic Party, all over it.
Well, sure they have. Look at Fast and Furious.
You heard it here first. Because why would these Democrats want open borders? Really? You got all these drugs flowing over. We got third world diseases now. They're going to get the bubonic plague in LA because of these idiots.
That's already happening.
And then they want to send these disease-ridden immigrants to the middle of the country where you would think you would be safe from these diseases, but no, they don't even want to examine these people. Hey, how about giving them a physical and a clean bill of health before you ship them all over the doggone country?
What did you see?
Where is our sense? We don't even have an immigration policy, thanks to Congress.
Did you see what Donald Trump tweeted? You said yesterday or today. He said next week ICE will begin the process of removing millions of illegal aliens who have illicitly found their way into this country. Mexico's using their strong immigration laws and doing a very good job of stopping people. He's sitting there and he's talking about they're gonna ship them back, and they should. You got people.
Yeah, they are. I know, and you can see that coming. And it is what it is. But the main thing is look, none of us are opposed to immigration. We want legal immigration. We're not trying to suppress the vote. We want legal votes. I don't think that people should be able to go vote without an ID. You got to have a picture ID or a driver's license or a state of Florida ID to do just about anything. And you have these clowns that want to say, oh, you shouldn't have to have a picture ID or a photo ID to vote because that's discriminatory. No, it's not discriminatory. We need to protect the honest voters because when people vote illegally, it undermines democracy. It undermines our country. I mean, we're a democratic republic. The reason that we're a republic is republics protect the rights of the minority. Pure democracy is mobocracy, majority rule, 51%. What are you going to do? Take out the other 49%? No, you got to protect the rights of the minorities too. So, the founding fathers really had it together. They were brilliant. They did a great job, but you wouldn't know it from the Democratic Party. And man, these candidates are terrible.
Oh yeah. Did you see Joe Biden's thing? We were talking earlier about him having 100.
Fell asleep.
Out of 300 people that could be seated there, only 121 people showed up. The most enjoyment I got to watching the whole thing was not only did he mention Trump, what it was 70 something times, but then he made one comment and he goes, my buddy Trump. I mean, it was stupid. I was falling asleep, and normally I'm in tune with this stuff.
Biden is clueless. Biden, unfortunately, appears to be suffering from early stage dementia.
Oh, he's early stage sniffing and
Beto, he's ADT, and he's clueless. I haven't met anybody that could talk as much as Beto and say nothing. Okay, because I have some. My Arabic friends, they were wonderful people. And man, they love to smoke cigarettes and chat, 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 chat. But you know, you had a conversation for 10 minutes and you really didn't say anything. So sometimes, you know, you wonder about that. And there are people just like that. And that's Beto. He'll speak and speak and speak and really ultimately say nothing. And I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? And this guy thinks he should be president? It's clueless.
Well, most of them are. Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
You know what happened to all the impeachment stuff? That all that is a tactic to get away, to get around, to get these millennials to get their fake news out to them, saying, "Oh, we got to impeach, impeach, impeach." You know,
These
if they had
guys have
something,
been demonizing the president. They've been lying about it. You know, their whole deal is if you repeat it enough, some people will believe it. But the fact is, most of America sees through the Democratic Party. They see through CNN. They see through MSNBC. They see through these. There's one little news channel. Looks like it's LGB run. I don't know. But you know, they see through all the liberal cloud. You know, and the liberal taint on everything. And you know, I don't know. I just think that I think people are tired of it. We need, frankly, we need another Trump after Trump. We need about, I guess, 4 or 5 Trumps to get this country back where it needs to be. I mean, we need Trump to get reelected to help clean up the swamp because, frankly, the swamp is going down hard. You gotta pull these guys' hands off the lever of power. The good news is Pelosi's Congress is so bad that the American public is going to want to get rid of him. Yeah.
well, Pelosi's hometown out there, and now the
Hey,
California government.
I mean, how the hell do you put that crazy Muslim Brotherhood member on our Department of the Defense Intelligence Committee? You know, I mean, the committee assignments she's made some of these people that really don't give a damn about America, and it makes you wonder how people in Minnesota can be that stupid to elect people like that. You know, I
Well,
don't
now you
know.
got California has lost their ever living freaking minds because California has now got a bill out that they're getting ready to pass that they're going to provide health care for undocumented immigrants, 98 million to California taxpayers is what it's going to cost them. I don't know if you've seen the news lately or watched some of the stuff that's going on. I've had friends and I should have had the videos up tonight where they're showing. We were talking about it earlier with all the needles and
Cities, baby,
feces.
100,000 people living on the street.
And you know why they're living on the streets? Because they can't afford the freaking housing. Because California has just driven and destroyed the freaking market out there. They can't
They
afford the
destroyed the
housing.
middle class. They're destroying the middle class out there.
But what about
No,
the middle class and the American citizens that are sitting there? They're going to give 98 million to undocumented quote illegals. They're going to give them health care, but then here's the great part on it. They're not
here's the
going to
point.
do it to the elderly health care. Now they're talking about the kids on the border and stuff.
Hey, it gets even better. Travis, I was reading about that stupid law that these ignorant people in California. In California, you need to get rid of these Democrats running your state. You know what they did? Not only are they giving out that health insurance to the illegals, but they also institutionalized, they passed a law bringing back the individual mandate. So everybody in California that doesn't want their insurance has to pay $651 or 681, just like Obamacare. That's how screwed up they are.
Yeah, New York's doing the same thing. They announced
So
today.
they're making the state residents pay an individual mandate while giving insurance away to illegals that, guess what, don't have to pay the individual mandate. These people have lost their minds. There is nothing dumber than a Democrat in my book, okay? Pelosi, you're a joke. Schumer, you're a joke. I mean, the guy out of Maryland, you know, he's a joke. I haven't seen a good Democrat since Scoop Jackson. Sam Nunn, Scoop Jackson, Bob Graham's wife, maybe the governor. Bob Graham was a decent Democrat, but most of them are just pure left-wing ideologues that would destroy the country if given a chance.
Well, now they've announced in New York today that they're going to be able to give license to illegal, undocumented, whatever you want to call them, to get their stuff. You know what pisses me off is they think by bringing in.
Room to vote too, but look, you got to have voter ID or your vote's going to get screwed.
I hope they make them go through the same rigmarole that I had to go through to get mine. I've been an American citizen all my life, and I had to go and show birth certificate, social security card, 3 forms of ID in order to get.
Hey, that's only for the citizens. If you're an illegal, you can just walk in there and say, "Hello, my name Jose, uh, Jose Dega," and that's it. They'll take your word and a signature, and then they'll give you a credit card and a damn rental car and tell you to go move to damn Kansas City and start a new life.
It's disposable.
And come back and see us in a year for your court date.
It's disposable voters is what I call it, because here's what they do now. They got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people throughout California, San Francisco, LA, all over the place, sleeping on the streets. But they think if they bring in illegals now, they're going to give them everything and then they're going to vote for them. What they don't understand is if they would straighten out the economy in California and worry about the American citizens, they would have more votes coming in from American citizens than they ever would from illegals, because Trump is shutting down the border. I mean, it's getting shut down.
More importantly than that, most of your American citizens, don't support the left and the Democratic policies or proposals. That's what makes the Democrats so dangerous. They'll run as a moderate. They'll say they're moderates. They're never moderates. They say they are. But Reagan had it right. As soon as they get in power, they can't resist. They got to move to the hard left. And they move to the hard left, and with one bad idea after another, and it's always less individual freedom, more state government, more bureaucracy. And by the way, the bureaucratic state is killing our country. It's killing us at the state level, it's killing us at the local level, and it's killing us at the federal level. We need less bureaucratic state. I think, why can't we get 1% more efficient a year? Why not just chop the budget by 1%? Every organization can get more efficient by 1%. You can't do that. We can't even get 1% more efficient. We're supposed to be getting more efficient, and so why not have less government?
Yeah, well, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting a different result. I don't know what the Democrats are going to run on this year or the next coming up year, because the economy's good. I mean, look at the stock market today.
They're going to run on the big lie. They're going to lie to the people about just about everything. They're going to lie to the people about the economy. They're going to lie to the people about defense. They're going to lie to people about, really kind of work bipartisan. There's nothing bipartisan about the Democrats. They don't want to do anything. The House of Representatives passes one insane bill after another. They don't even consult the Senate. They're not trying to move the country forward. And the sad part is they need to try. Where's Tip O'Neill when you need him?
Well, Ariel Hunter wrote on there, Travis, on a separate note, no peace. She's absolutely right. Ariel's absolutely right. There's no peace going on. All there is division right now with what's going on. Did you see what they did to the black dude from Fox News today?
What happened to him?
He was up at I guess it happened yesterday. He was up in New York, and they had impeachment rallies going on. Now, this is how the mainstream media has. There's nothing they can impeach Trump on. First of all, I mean, they could sit there calling him a bigot.
But if the Democrats want to fall on the sword, let them do it. You know what I say? Make my day. Go ahead, Democrats. Shoot your wad. Try to impeach him. Even if you do, the Senate's not going to play ball. And now you're going to look stupid, and you've proven that the deep state is out of control. The deep state has got to go, folks.
Oh, yeah.
But the FBI still hasn't been cleaned up.
Oh, it's you're speaking of deep state. Look at Comey. All these people better start turning up. McCabe, they better start turning up.
Many great people in that organization, but that leadership got corrupt. And you know who was good at that? Obama. This guy weaponized our Department of Treasury. He politicized and weaponized every agency. And before he left, he made about 5,000 or 10,000 people full-time federal employees. This guy is a bureaucrat friend, okay? We got too much bureaucracy, too much government. They screwed up health insurance so bad, it makes me want to throw up.
No, I tell you what they need to do. They all need to quit fighting amongst themselves and get something done, because for 2.5 years, they're not getting anything done. All it is
Let me just say this: Trump got a lot done, the first couple of years. He's still getting stuff done. Trump is getting Mexico to do something about the border that the Democrats never got him to do. Okay, until Trump threatened to throw these tariffs around, China was running all over us. They're not doing that anymore. We're going to get a deal with China sooner or later. This new NAFTA thing is going to be great, but the Democrats are holding that up. The Democrats are so blind with their hatred of Trump. And the fact is, Trump's got a lot of great ideas. A lot of them used to be Democrat ideas. So the Dems are cutting their own throats. They are purely a partisan party, and the Democrat and the media, they're all in bed together.
well, did you
The
see?
New York Times, they run so many lies in the New York Times, it makes me, they're terrible. They're the ones lying. The New York Times keeps calling Trump a liar when they lie all the time and then have to retract it all the time.
Oh yeah, I was trying to find what they were saying today. I've got so many. I've got like 15 pages of notes here. There's been so much going on in the last week. They can say whatever they want, but the one thing that, look at the Dow today. I mean the Dow, and I know you're a stock market man like myself. The Dow was up
Well, yeah,
300,
a lot of money. What you mean?
353 points. S&P was up 500 points. Nasdaq was up 108. I mean, come on. That guy's got to be doing something right.
I mean, hey, I'm finally, doing better. I mean, I unfortunately, we could be doing much better. There's some really good opportunities in the stock market if you played it right, had the right fund.
Oh, Bernie Sanders the other day, he's sitting there saying that Americans do not want a president who is a liar, homophobic, a bigot, and is a president who is above the law.
Oh God, that's
I keep
hilarious.
asking him, where has Trump said anything? I mean, he's done more for blacks and Hispanics. But
One thing about Trump, he doesn't care if you're gay or not. Okay, he is so good to that community. He's great, and they can't say any of that. And he's good to everybody that know. I mean, if you know Trump, I mean, basically, it's like, what is it? A rising tide lifts all boats. He's been good to across the spectrum to everybody, blacks, whites, reds, you name it. Everybody's doing better under this president.
Well, I sent out a message to Bernie Sanders on his little tweeting machine there. I sent him out it was a personal email, and I said, yeah, Americans don't want a president who's a communist socialism, who sits there and sings the Mother Russia song when he's on his honeymoon with a bunch of Russians, who speaks with a forked tongue. Americans want a new ground strategy. That's what he says. Bernie,
yeah.
you need to check the GPD and black and Hispanic figures. I mean, if you're sitting there calling him a racist, check the figures on what he's done for the blacks and the Hispanics, and then come back and tell me you speak with forked tongue.
Hey, feel the burn. Feel the burn. Hey, what's fun about this is we're going to watch the Democrats steal another nomination away from the socialists.
Yeah. I like what old Trump said.
Maybe they'll nominate Pocahontas.
I like what old Trump tweeted the other day. Did you say it where he called Bernie Sanders a loser?
Yeah, well, I mean, really, you can say that about any of them. But Buttigieg is he's the media darling right now because the media, they want a gay president. That's really what the media wants. There's so many gay people in the media. They just want to have that feeling of not vindictiveness, but that feeling of validation. And it's okay. Nobody says that you can be anything you want to be, but you shouldn't be something just because of what your identification is. What you identify as doesn't make you a better person or a lesser person. You're still a person. Okay, we're all persons, and the Constitution talks about persons. It doesn't talk about gay persons. It doesn't talk about straight persons. It talks about persons. It includes everybody. So please, don't give me, I need special rights, this, that, or the other. Look, I'm all for the LBG gay community legislation, as long as they say and for heterosexuals too. I want the same rights as everybody else gets.
Well, you know
What about
what?
you?
I don't care if they're playing with a wiener or a set of boobs. I'm not interested in what their sexual preference is. It never concerns me. I don't give a damn. I want to know what they're going to do that's better than the economy now. I want to know what they're going to do to get a stock market higher than what we've got now. I want to know what they're going to do to make black home ownership, Hispanic home ownership, the unemployment rate, which is lower now than it's ever been in history for blacks or Hispanics. I want to know how they're going to improve that. That's what I want to know. I could give a damn if they're playing with a wiener or a set of tits.
It's very, very simple. They're not going to improve it. The Democratic Party cannot improve that. They don't have the policies in place to improve any of it. What they can do is make it worse. They will lower the standard of living. They will lower home ownership. They will lower people's income. They will increase our taxes and put more wealth in the bureaucratic state, and they will take more and more of our liberty. Period. That's the bottom line.
Can you imagine how kick-ass it would be right now if you could get the Republicans and Democrats to just work together in Congress
Hey,
and
right
in the
now,
Senate and in the House?
Obama divided the country so bad, that there's nobody that really, you can't do much about it. They say this, that, or the other. Trump wasn't the divider. Trump's trying to unite the country. His policies are lifting the whole country up. But the fact is, you have the mainstream media, you have the lib media, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the CNNs of the world, stirring up racial strife, trying to race bait everything. MSNBC, they're the dividers. You have a liberal media going after this, buying into identity politics, buying into just race baiting and just deceiving the public, wanting to lie about everything. The country is in the country's in as good a shape as it's been in a long time.
Yep, since before Reagan now.
I mean, it's amazing.
All the
And
way
it
back
could
to
be
Abraham
better.
Lincoln.
And it's going to get better. I mean, hey, Trump likes liberty. I like liberty. We all want more liberty and less police state and less government. But you know what? If you're going to live in a free society, there are responsibilities and obligations. You can't walk around breaking the law all the time. You can't be, there's responsibility for liberty. Liberty is not without cost. I mean, a lot of people died so that we could, have liberty. It's a wonderful thing. And I want more individual liberty, not less. I don't want an individual mandate for some insurance that I don't want to have.
Yeah. What are they going to tell you
That was
next?
the
You got to
dumbest
buy a
thing I've
Ford
ever
over a
heard.
Chevy? They're going to tell you got to buy a Ford over a Chevy next? Or, when they start.
Yeah, really. I mean, they want to, the whole group thing, the group think of the Democratic Party is what so blows me away.
Well, they better be careful because the same stuff that they're allowing to happen and allowed to happen with this false dossier and the FBI and the CIA and Homeland Security and all that can flip-flop. That can go. That was done against an American citizen. I'll tell you what.
Don't want to flip-flop. The Republicans aren't near as devious. We're not near as Machiavellian. You got to understand, who is the godfather of the Democratic Party? Saul Alinsky. Okay, the guy that wrote the book that Hillary did a paper on, that Obama loved. That book he wrote about how to make a society liberal, whatever the name of it was. He dedicated that to Satan. It's in the introduction. Can you believe it? This guy, Saul Alinsky, the godfather of the Democratic Party, writes a book and dedicates it to Satan. There you go. So, please, the Democratic Party has it's not the party of JFK. I love JFK. Hell, I thought Clinton did a lot of good things. And I thought he did a lot of crooked things as well. But, the party of JFK died a long time ago. The Democratic Party is a freak show. It's a freak show.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the mainstream media needs to buckle up because the one thing that pisses me off more than anything is they're sitting there blaming all this stuff that's going on with Trump. First of all, Trump didn't create a bad economy. That was created through past administrations, through Obama, from Bush, all the way back.
A lot better. He's putting some spark in it. You
He
know?
didn't create the division in race. That was done. I mean, people don't remember, but just look at 4 or 5 years ago when you had, oh, if I had a son, he'd be just like Trayvon Martin. Really? You know,
How about the college
you,
professor at Boston? You know, all that. There's a lot of crazy stuff. You know, Obama's a big race baiter. He's like Farrakhan almost. Obama, man, I'm telling you. You know what else was funny was whenever Hillary and you see Jill Brown do it, and you see that idiot from California, the one that slept with the married guy, whatever name, Kamala Harris. But you see them when they're in the South, they want to start talking Southern, like we're all stupid, and they'll come up with some Southern twang. Hillary used to kill me when she'd do it, you know. And then Joe Biden would do it. Y'all all going to be on change, you know. The real racist to me, the biggest racist in America is the white liberal.
yep.
I got to tell you, the white liberal is the biggest racist in the country.
Well, I'll tell you what, on this, somebody had written in about the border stuff and saying how crooked that is, and right, AOC, concentration camps. You have no idea. I've been overseas. I've went to Dachau. I've seen the ovens where they burn the Jews. There's nothing like that going on. The pictures they've been showing now, and I'm going to get a thing together, probably do it next week. All these pictures that they've been showing on CNN, MSNBC, CNN, all these pictures that they've been bringing up, those were all taken during Obama's administration, where these kids are in cages. Now, Trump just signed in, what was it, a $1.4 billion thing here. And without the consent of the Democrats, he signed it in. And I was looking for my papers because I want to make sure I got it right. There was
to do an emergency appropriation of some sort.
there was 3.3 billion that's going for the kids to get health care funding, and there's another 1.4 billion that's going into putting these people in housing. I don't see the Congress doing that. I really don't. They're not doing it. Nancy Pelosi with her little gang up there is not doing it. But you know what? The one thing that I want to see, and I wrote it down just so I wouldn't forget it. Now I forgot it. Crap. What did I do with it here?
What, Irene? The impending regime change in Iran. Let me tell you, when Iran gets stupid and starts firing some missiles at us, that will lead to regime change. Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And if North Korea goes nuts, that will lead to regime change.
Look what Hong Kong and China and all them's doing right now. But I said,
I feel for the people of Hong Kong. You gotta love them. You gotta love them. They love freedom.
I asked this young girl today. Yesterday. I asked her a question. I said, now I want you to imagine that you walk into Mexico, China, North or South Korea, Africa, and demand citizenship and demand free health care, a driver's license, voting rights. You go in there and demand free health care, food. Go into any other country and demand that and see what the hell they do to you. You got about 4 minutes left. I'm going to give you a minute here to spit out whatever you're going to say.
Well, I'm proud to be an American.
Oh, no, you got to sing Calvin O's song. He opened it up. One Nation Under God. I've got you a copy of that CD, by the way. Remind me to give it to you.
Yeah, whenever you get it to me, get it to me. All I can say is this. I hope and pray that we live in a country where we can have less big government, less deep state, more individual liberty, and in a great country where everybody has an opportunity to succeed. We're all born equal. We don't stay equal. We're all born naked with nothing. It's what you do with your life that matters, and the government is not going to give it to you. Okay, we all want to have a steady government. We're blessed to live in America. It's a great, great country, and the government's been great in the past. But I'm telling you, we have become a bureaucratic state, and this bureaucracy is stifling our country. And what happened with our internet under Obama was a disaster. And now you can see all the censorship that's coming out of it. But it didn't happen when America was in charge of the internet. And then Obama gave that up. And now you've got Google and everybody else running off a conservative point of view, which is wrong. But other than that, hey, appreciate your show. I am a political pundit. I happen to be a lawyer. Be careful if you get in trouble. I would recommend you get a good criminal defense lawyer because the state is out of control. Okay, the prosecutors have too much power. Just to let you know, it's tough out there. So the best thing you do is stay out of trouble.
Well, we'll send everybody up that gets in trouble from Putnam County and around the adjacent counties to you,
Well,
so
they
you can
got some good
represent
lawyers
them.
down there. Just need to make sure they get one because I'll tell you, the state is tough, the state is rough, and sometimes they're out of their mind, frankly.
Oh, I believe that. So, all right, Greg. Well,
Uh,
thanks for coming on
all
tonight.
right.
We'll definitely
Hey,
see.
there are Comey wannabes at every level of state government. You got to be careful.
Yeah, I understand
Oh,
that.
have a great week, and I'll see you next week.
All right, Greg. You have a good weekend, buddy. Give me a
All
call
right,
this weekend. I got some stuff to talk to you about.
All right, appreciate you.
All right. Okay, that was Greg Williams, attorney at law up in Jacksonville. If you need a good attorney, if you believe in a good attorney, call Greg up. He does everything except for murder cases, and I think he's even tried a couple of those. But he's a good attorney. He does care about his clients. He will work a payment schedule with you if you don't have the money to come up. Unlike a lot of other attorneys that I've met in the past and had to use that they want $5 and $6 grand. Greg, just tell him you're from IITW Radio or the Putman Way, and he'll probably give you a big discount. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but anything that I have to say about Greg is my own personal opinion. I think he's one of the best. He is a high-fluting attorney up in Jacksonville, though. But guys and gals, at the end of the day, everybody has the right to express what they feel to be true. That's under their First Amendment. Just make sure you do your research. Tomorrow night we're going to be talking about Fort Gates Ferry. I'm going to give you guys an update to some good news on that. And you guys still need it. You'll see the caption going across the top of the news feed. On Radio Code tonight, it was not working for some reason. Did we ever figure out why it was, Chris?
It just bugs out every once in a while.
Yeah, it bugged out. People over in Europe. I don't know. I have to have a talk with them. But I want to thank Tammy. This week, the Putman Way, our numbers are going through the roof. We have a little over 8 million people that was reading this past week. I want to thank you guys and gals that have been reading it, and thank you for making that page such a success. If there's anything you think that we need to do on IITW Radio or the Putman Way, just send it over to us. You want to see changes done, what you would like to see done to it. We don't make anything off of this. We do it to help out the community, to help out different organizations. If there's something that you feel that you would like to read as far as news, whether it be cooking, I know that Tammy's going to be doing a cooking show here, hopefully pretty soon, and she's going to have her own show going on. You guys will want to see that. Tammy is a kick-ass cook. Every Saturday night I call and ask her what her and her friend Heather are doing for cooking. They always send me pictures of these great meals that I can't eat because I have a heart condition. If you see a firefighter, now I'm going to give a shout out to the twins over in Satsuma at the fire department. These guys mess with me all the time. I'm probably going to feature them here in the next couple of weeks. But your volunteer firefighters, your first responders, walk up and thank those people. They don't get paid for what they do. A lot of them don't. They're just out there because they love the community. And I say it all the time. When you see a cop, do not tell your kids, oh, if you don't behave, I'm going to have them arrest you. All that does is instill fear. Go over and ask the cop, can you show my kids what the siren sounds like? Teach them to have respect for them. There's too much hate and stuff going on, as who was it said, Ariel, tonight. There needs to be more peace. And Ariel's absolutely right. There's too much fighting and too much bickering going on. There's too much racism, all that crap. This is America. This is 2019. It doesn't need to be all that crap going on. Most importantly, when you see a veteran, and one thing that pisses me off is people that talk bad about our veterans. Our veterans have been the soul and the backbone of this nation since it was started over a couple hundred years ago. They have shed their blood for us. Walk up and thank a veteran. Thank them for their service. Thank them for the time. Thank them for, you don't know what it's like to be out there and have bullets buzzing over your head, or to even be sitting overseas away from your family, even if they're in communications. They're still away from their families years at a time. Tomorrow night, like I said, we're going to be talking about Fort Gates. There's some great stuff coming up on that. I went to a county commission meeting today. Gave them the fill in on what's going on. For you that didn't catch it, you can go to the Putman Way and go back there and check it out. It was around 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. to about 10:40. You can watch that. I want to thank our county commissioners for stepping up and getting this Fort Gates thing going. We will see you guys and gals back here tomorrow night. I want to thank Calvin O for sending his song "One Nation Under God." Austin Neal, Brother in Arms, is what's closing us out tonight. Make sure. Oh, and I got to give a shout outs. Ariel up at Satsuma Produce. I told you I wouldn't forget you. No, Remy. I'm sorry, not Ariel. Remy up at Satsuma Produce. Go in there in Satsuma. They also have a place in East Palaca. Go in there. They have some kick butt produce in there. They just bought in another truck today. They got another one coming in tomorrow. Great asparagus. How was those cherries, Chris?
I haven't yet.
Oh, you didn't? Well, I snuck a couple out of your bag. They were good. They've got great produce. They're local businesses. Remember to support your local businesses. You'll see them flashing across the screen here. That's what it takes to get this country back to where it should be. Support your local businesses. Get people coming back into Putnam County. I think that's about it. So I'm going to get the hell out of here. We will see you back here tomorrow night. Oh, no, wait a minute, shout outs. I got to give a shout out to Tammy, my best friend and partner in crime over in Tampa, Annette and Audrey up in Louisiana. To all the people that are on here tonight that I didn't get to mention your names, I'm sorry. Jessica, Jolie, Doug, all you people. I also want to thank, who was that I was going to thank? Ah, crap, I can't remember. All right, well, we'll see you tomorrow night. Maybe I'll remember by then. I got to go home, but I got to get the hell out of here. We're out. Good night.
See the guitar in the corner, it's the one I learned to play on. Believe me or not, it's been all around the world. It's been back and forth to brothers in